Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Play Neutopia for the TurboGrafx 16-bit. Last time we had finished the first overworld and made our way over to the second. And today we're taking down the first labyrinth of said overworld. So I'm going to check out this cavern here first because I didn't think this diverged into two paths, but why the hell not? Oh. Okay, so this guy is giving us a good warning here of the upcoming danger that is darkly lit rooms. If you've played Zelda 1, you know exactly what he's talking about. So you better have your moonbeam moss on hand. Otherwise, we're not going to be having a comfortable trip within said labyrinth, and we wouldn't like that very much now, would we? So, let's go ahead and start it. Alright, so here we are at level 3. Let's see what kind of dangers await us within this new labyrinth. So, nothing too out of the ordinary except... Ooh, yep, better have that on hand for sure. Even past level 3 and onwards, like, you're gonna have plenty of rooms like this because the game wants to artificially shove as much usage out of the Moonbeam Moss as possible. Which, granted, Zelda 1 kind of did the same thing as well, but I wish they would have, like, maybe had taken the initiative to make some more clever, like, situations out of it. But considering that Neutopia has a pretty limited inventory as it is, I mean, I guess I can't really say too much. Now, unfortunately, as great as the Fire Wand is, it isn't quite effective against everything. You're going to notice that it's not too effective against the Spirit-type enemies and Wizrobe-esque enemies and so forth. I've got the Zelda terminology on my tongue, but I have to remember this isn't literally a Zelda game, and that can definitely throw me off track somewhat. Oh boy, and I should probably put my Discord status on D&D. Let's fix that. Yeah. That's better. That's better. So, oh yeah, these guys have alternating patterns, for sure. Yeah, a lot of different enemy types for sure. These ones definitely seem to be a bit more on the aggressive side compared to the ones that we've seen in the first two levels for sure, especially once we actually start attacking them. But then, of course, the game resorts to just going, fuck it, we're running out of imagination here. Let's just have enemies that walk left and right and up and down without much variation. But, I mean, granted, they do have different status modifiers because of the said fact that, like, Neutopia has, like, 4 different sword, shield, and armor upgrades. The game balances its enemy roster around this as well. And it kind of definitely feels like an RPG in that aspect because, like, if you don't have said equipment on hand by the time you reach these dungeons and have to face these stronger foes, then you're not going to really breeze through them the same way you could with, like, early equipment, you know, if you happen to hold on to it in other Zelda games, if you will. So, making sure you upgrade your equipment as you make your way through the later dungeons is a must. I feel like I'm probably going the wrong way, and I think I am? Let's check this route and be sure. I don't think there's much over here. I am kind of relying on muscle memory here. Like, granted, I did do a practice run of this game about a few months ago, but not all of it really sticks in your head, and I kind of blame that on the room layout, if anything. It's not like Zelda 1, where I've played that game since I was, like, an actual small child, where, like, that game, I feel like, for the most part, kind of just stuck in my head by default. Oh, Jesus. These guys hurt like hell, too. Alright. Gotta be vigilant of these guys. They'll speed up once you happen to fall within their line of sight. Don't want that. No sirree, Bob. And of course, in rooms like this, we have to find a block that we need to push in order to move forward, so let's do just that. This is looking pretty straightforward so far. Like, there only seems to be, like, 2 diverging paths here, and, oh wow, we already have the key to the crypt. What do you know? Well, I guess what we could technically do is that we could go ahead and fight the boss first, and then we can go back and check out what was on that other path. I don't see any harm nor foul in that, so, as long as it wasn't an armor upgrade or something, like, I don't think that should be too much of an issue. It might actually just be a shield upgrade, because we haven't really ran into one yet, huh? We're still stuck with the same shield we've had since the beginning of the game. I guess the game kind of realized that shields aren't quite as important as sword and armor upgrades, so they figured, why not, let's just kind of prioritize them for last. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Ah, I thought this would be like Zelda 1, where like whenever you take the clock, and the enemies that are stuck in like limbo or whatever would come out and play, but apparently not. Okay. This guy likes to vanish a lot for some reason. Alright, so this here, I believe the only thing they really do is just fly, or, okay, they got themselves a little splitting attack pattern here. Just kind of have to study the geometry of said attack pattern under positioning, otherwise you're going to get hit a lot. And he hurts! And he hurts! Yikes. Okay. Well, I needed to take a trip outside of the dungeon anyway, because I definitely needed to get that dungeon item and see if it was any useful to any degree. Maybe it might actually help us in the boss fight, who knows. I want to see if, was the, what was it? Was the healer over here? I don't think she was. Yeah, because I haven't touched this game in like a week. So I kind of already forgot some of my progress. That's a big derp, if I had to say so myself. Oh boy. So, yeah. I guess I don't really have much choice. I guess we're just gonna have to, like, go back through the dungeon and see if we can find some cherries without backtracking too much. Or we could check the walls here. As I've stated before, not only do like some of the hidden areas within the walls provide shortcuts and what have you, sometimes they do provide extra things like bombs and potions, and I think that's really convenient because like if you know where to bomb, then you don't necessarily have to go out of your way too much to actually go and buy said things, which granted, if you know what you're doing, it kind of makes money in this game, you know, sort of pointless compared to Zelda 1, but considering that the penalty for dying is pretty substantial when considering the fact that you do lose money, I mean, I can't complain. I really can't complain too much. Ow. Yeah, our shield is not too flexible as far as dealing with these foes are concerned. So hopefully, possibly, the dungeon item we get helps in this regard. Okay, yeah, this really was a straightforward dungeon. Holy shit, I should have started with this path. So I guess we just go this way, and the boss is over here. This very much feels like level 2, in the sense that like everything's kind of like segregated off into 2 paths. Like you have the path that has like the crystal ball and the dungeon item, and the other path has like either the key or the boss and so forth. You get the idea, basically. I just find it weird that the boss key itself wasn't too far off from the boss itself. This definitely feels like a rushed dungeon, somewhat. Because, like, granted, like, even if you do have rooms that have very limited resources in terms of how they're laid out, you can definitely structure a strong dungeon just from pathways alone. Oh, okay. So this might actually be what I need. Okay, awesome. And it looks pretty nice, too. I'm gonna do this and save myself the backtracking. The backtracking trip. So I guess that all that leaves us with is the boss itself. So I'll probably meet you guys back when I make it to the boss. And thank God I got myself a Wings of Return before doing so. Whee! Oh, are you kidding me? I could have just bombed my way over to the shield? Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, we're back. And I feel kind of stupid because I discovered that within the bombable walls, I could actually just skip over to getting the shield. What are the odds? I might actually leave that within the footage of me backtracking over to here. But yeah, that's just something I thought I'd let everybody know. Wow. Okay. You learn something new every day, I guess. Ow. These guys hurt. Jesus Christ. Yeah, the real challenge from this is basically making sure you're, like, not only within distance to hit them, but also within a distance to where you can run away from the shots, because I don't think I could block these even with my new shield. Ooh. Ah! Crap. God bless projectiles. Ugh. Oh, Jesus. I'm gonna play it safe, damn it. Like, the fire rod, for sure, definitely makes up for the fact... Oh, wait, no, I can definitely block the shots. Okay. What the hell was that? Yeah, I can block the shots! Okay. Alright, here we go. So once we get him down to, like, one more demon... Well... well, technically speaking, he would have shot more projectiles, once we've cut him down to, like, one more demon, but, I didn't give him the, benefit of a doubt, so... Here we are. The third medallion, let's go. Will do. Alright, so let's do just that. So unlike the first overworld where it was pretty blatantly obvious where you needed to go if you were heading within the general area of either levels 1 or 2, this overworld is definitely a lot more open-ended, so finding it can be a little bit more difficult in comparison. But it's not too out of the ordinary. Like, you definitely need to head right as opposed to left for the most part. It's just the paths leading to said levels are a little less straightforward than usual. And I wouldn't, like, I wouldn't necessarily blame you if you went the other direction first. Oh god. Alright, so we have another item we need to find before heading off into level 2. Or level 4, I'm sorry. We need to find a item called the Rainbow Drop, and the Rainbow Drop more or less functions like the ladder from Zelda 1, in which it lets you cross one tile-sized gaps, and you definitely need this to cross certain bridges in the dungeons that we'll be running into later on. So yeah, like even though there isn't much in terms of tools that you get, you know, in Neutopia, there are like a select few that you'll actually need that are required to beat the game otherwise. It's pretty minimal, but we'll take what we can get. I'm gonna go ahead and get these potions because it's not like I'm like starving for money at the moment. One thing you could definitely do to save yourself money, if you have the time and patience for it anyway, is that one thing to consider is that every overworld, like the later into the game you get in terms of overworld progression, the more expensive certain things like bombs and potions end up draining your wallet and so forth. So what we do need to consider is that you have to think to yourself, do I want to get this convenient potion that's close to me in the overworld I'm in currently, or do I want to go back to one of the earlier overworlds and get a much cheaper potion? And that is definitely something I consider from time to time in the playthrough, especially considering that money isn't the easiest thing to come by in this game overall. First, you know, I thought that was gonna have something important. Damn it, if I would have known that, like, well, I wasted 300 gold. Congrats. But yeah, sometimes it's best to go back to one of the previous overworlds in case you not only miss something like a life upgrade or whatever, but if you want to go back and be like, hey, I want to get a potion for that much cheaper. And the price differences are pretty substantial. Like, I think the potions in the first overworld are around 150 gold, but the ones here are 300. So the price difference is pretty steep, even though the money you get in terms of quantity isn't really all that much different, comparatively speaking. Regardless of what kind of enemies you're fighting, whether they're stronger or weaker. This isn't like completely like an RPG, mind you. It's not like, you know, Final Fantasy, where the further in the game you get and the stronger the enemies become, you know, you get more money out of your encounters. It's not quite like that. The only thing that RPG mechanics really devolve down into is getting more life from beating a dungeon, because it's not something you get optionally. And then you have your sword and shield upgrades, which are built off in such a way where the enemies get progressively stronger, depending on which overworld you're in. It's not kind of like, it's not like Zelda, where like even like in the late game or something, or even other stretches of the overworld, you'll still find weaker enemies like Octoroks or like Deku Scrubs throughout the entirety of the game, and that's okay, because like your sword and shield or armor doesn't really upgrade all that much. But in Neutopia, it most certainly does. What in the world is this? This is a weird puzzle. Oh, what's up with this? Can we push the other ones? Yeah, I don't really know what's up with that. Okay. Okay. So there is something over here. Cool. Thanks, buddy. See, my muscle memory isn't as great as it used to be, that's for sure. Well, at least in regards to this game. mean, I could probably play through Ocarina of Time and remember every single kilometer of the or millimeter of the overworld by heart, but no, this isn't quite one of those games. I'm definitely going to be doing some scavenging here and about around this overworld to see if we can find some extra goodies. I'm pretty sure we can find another life upgrade. Not entirely sure, because we already did find a bomb upgrade around here somewhere. Let's see. Oh, here we are. Oh, that's cool. He's already giving us some foreshadowing. Nice, 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 nice. Okay. I don't know why he's so far off. And I guess that's kind of the thing I appreciate about Neutopia, is that you're not having to backtrack too much to previous areas to get things unless you miss something. Like, because you're moving through different overworlds, like, the experience is pretty fresh throughout the entire game, and you have new overworlds to explore, but they never quite feel linear at all. They have their own, like, little intricacies and open-endedness and stuff of that nature. So, yeah, traveling through each overworld definitely feels like a brand new experience, and I definitely appreciate that out of Neutopia. Unlike, say, Zelda 1, where, like, the entire game takes place in one overworld and you're having to, like, go through it multiple times to, like, find different areas dependent on your upgrades. I guess I can't really say out of preference which, like, design philosophy would be better. I feel like each end of the spectrum has their own different strengths. Because sometimes, like, the idea of going back to previous areas with new upgrades is definitely a very, like, rewarding aspect of the game. Because it rewards you for memorizing layouts. But on the same end of the spectrum, you have, like, the idea that, like, yeah, you're gonna have to be going through certain areas that you've seen a million times over and over again, which creates more backtracking. And Neutopia is kind of like the opposite end of the spectrum, but it still keeps things relatively non-linear-ish. It's really weird. You don't see many games structured like Neutopia, that's for certain. Okay, so we already have that. Ugh. Alright, so we're definitely gonna have to find the rainbow drop before making any more due progress, and I want that rainbow drop, damn it. I don't even think it's too far off at all, actually. I think it's probably within this area. It does kind of get a little bit annoying when the map doesn't tell you what area of the overworld you're in. Yeah, we already know about that. Jesus. I feel like I have the idea down of where the person could be. I just don't know exactly where he's at. Ugh, that's painful. This is where having a map would be very beneficial for sure. God, he could be down here? No, definitely not. Because this is, yeah, no, this is not it at all. Yeah, this is quite a pickle. I don't like how the flame rod doesn't go through projectiles. I find that the most peculiar thing. I wonder why it functions like that. Is the projectile like another object similar to an enemy or whatever? Is that what the whole deal is? Because I know there's definitely weird little nuances to programming and scripting in regards to things like that. And I wonder if that's what's going on. Ah! Okay, maybe this guy will have an idea. Or hold on. Okay, that guy was pretty self-explanatory. I don't think he really had anything for us besides a tip. Or trinket of information we didn't already know about. Well, I guess I did technically need this again. It is somewhere around here, I just don't know where. I feel like it's in, like, the southernmost part of the overworld, too. I wonder if maybe I'm, like, overlooking things and kind of overthinking it to the point of where maybe I should actually be over here. No. Wait, no, wait a second. Hold up. Yeah, shoot. Okay. Alright, so I thought this was like a pathway to the dungeon. But no, it turns out this guy is kind of leading us within the right direction of where to go. Okay. Yeah, I definitely am overthinking things. Oh shit. That hasn't happened on many occasions. Okay, so now I have a better idea of where to go. So, well, the arrow is kind of self-explanatory on that part. Oh god. I kind of don't like the first pillar flame upgrade. Like the one where it's like firing flames of, or pillars of flame. What have you. I'm sorry. As opposed to balls of fire. I kind of prefer the ball of fire to that, to be honest. Like, sure, it's a little bit weaker, but it's also faster, and I generally prefer faster projectiles over strong, bulky ones. It gets better. Like, it does end up getting faster and creating more range within its grasp as it goes, but, like, I just don't like how it is in its current form, and it's usually better off that you use the balls of fire as opposed to, like, the flame pillars. Well, you're not very funny, my guy. Ow. Okay, yeah, it's definitely, yep, it's definitely over here. My muscle memory is beginning to work somewhat. Ah, for real. Wait a second. I thought you could go in here. Oh, wait a second. That's right. That's right. I'm on to your little secret. Haha! Here we are. He's got a pretty elaborate looking basement. Alright, here we are, the rainbow drop. That is probably one of the ugliest looking sprites I've ever seen in my life. Oh my god. I don't like how that looks at all. It's like, instead of giving it some gradients to where it looks like a much more natural looking drop of water, it's like they just decided to go, hey, let's take and draw some lines and call it a drop. Like, look at that. It's so hideous looking. It just, ugh. As somebody who's actually messed around with spriting and drawing tiles and shit, this kind of shit annoys me. It like gets on my nerves because I used to do a little bit of modding myself, and like I'm kind of familiar with the process, and I know they could have done much better than that for certain. Oh wow, this guy sells potions too. Okay, and he's right next to the dungeon. That's convenient. I'm hoping the next dungeon's nearby, because I certainly don't want to walk too far. Well, I've already kind of done that, but thank you very much. Alright, so yeah, we're definitely not too far off from the next labyrinth. If this guy would so kindly move out of my way. Okay, so our shield works against those rocks. That's nice to know. Okay, yeah, I know for a fact that's definitely the next dungeon. Thank goodness. What's under here first? Let's check that out. Well, thanks for the reminder, buddy. Okay, so our save point is right next to the dungeon. That's pretty cool. Alright, here we are. Yeah, why not? So next time on Let's Play Neutopia for the TurboGrafx 16-bit, we're gonna head off into level 4, so see you guys then.